You're the wrong person to be asking because she wasn't present.
You must understand then what I'm saying if you think she's not the person who would provide that
No,
information.
I don't understand. I didn't consent to understanding or agreeing to that.
I do not consent to understanding or agreeing to that. I did not consent to understanding. Okay. I know she explained herself, but I did not consent to myself understanding what I just heard. I did not consent to that.
When I hear the phrase being on a protocol, that to me could have more than one reason. Someone could have been exposed, someone could have tested, or someone could have reported symptoms that required testing. Would I be mistaken in any of those beliefs?
You are correct, Judge.
Would there be any other reasons for someone to be placed on a protocol, a COVID-19 protocol within the Waukesha County Jail?
No.
And would you tell me which one of those three options has prompted the COVID protocol for Mr. Brooks?
Judge, I have not reviewed his medical record prior to arriving here.
All right, fair enough. Do you have an understanding of what that is?
Yes,
Based
however,
on information provided to you?
yes, however, he has not signed a release allowing me to speak to the court. So if you are ordering me to speak to the court, I can speak to what my understanding is.
Mr. Brooks, I took your statements earlier that you
His
would not
butt is
object to
always
asking
tooted up.
jail
That's why.
staff about the current situation to verify the information you
Darrell.
provided. Is that still correct?
I said that I wouldn't have any issue with pertaining to myself. I don't know. I'm not speaking about anybody else in the jail. I'm not speaking about what everybody's situation is different.
Right, and I'm specifically referring to your situation.
Well, the question was asked in, how does it pertain to me? It was pertaining to me, all the questions, which it came up when I said that there was a lieutenant and there were officers present when I took this test from the nurse.
Right, I'd like to verify the information that you're providing to me regarding what was reported by you, what tests were administered, and why you're on the protocol with the jail administrator. First of all, do you understand what I want to ask her about?
No, I did not understand.
Alicia,
Did you hear what
Hey,
I said
boo.
just now?
Storm
I did
Fluent,
not
what's
understand.
up?
But did you hear what I said?
Frankly, Your Honor, I
Nani?
think she would probably be the
Oh,
wrong
thank you,
person
baby.
to be asking because she wasn't present.
You must understand then what I'm saying if you think she's not the person who would provide that
No, I don't
information.
understand. I didn't consent to understanding or agreeing to that. No, I do not understand.
Did this piece of shit just say, I did not consent to agreeing or understanding that? Hold up. Hold up, Darrell. I don't think you're listening to yourself, baby.
You're the wrong person to be asking because she wasn't present.
You must understand then what I'm saying if you think she's not the person who would provide that
No,
information.
I don't understand.
So
I didn't consent to understanding or agreeing to that.
I do not consent to understanding or agreeing to that. I did not consent to understanding. Okay. I know she explained herself, but I did not consent to myself understanding what the fuck I just heard. I did not consent to that. Now I'm thinking maybe Doctor. Oh my God, man! I'm thinking. You got me thinking about work now. Now I'm thinking that maybe Darrell doesn't know what consent is, which is super alarming. Okay. Thinking maybe he don't know what consent is. Cause how the fuck did he just say that? I know I didn't consent to understanding. Well, you haven't consented to anything, correct? Okay. Well, I was gonna let you go, but you haven't consented to that, so never mind. I was gonna get them things up off your ankles that are way too tight upon your ankles, but you didn't consent to it, so fuck you very much, Darrell. Fuck you very much. Okay.
No, I do not understand.
all right. I took his statements earlier. I realize you don't have a written waiver as to be a verbal waiver of any privacy rights under HIPAA, and I'm directing you to answer the question.
Okay. It was brought to my attention shortly before the lunch hour that he had made statements that prompted the medical department to follow up. As I said before, I have not reviewed the medical record. It is my understanding he was administered a test. He was also offered another test, to which he refused.
Do you have any information regarding whether this other test would have been a rapid test?
I believe it to be.
Do you have those tests available in the facility to offer to an individual?
I have one available right now.
Ooh, Daryl. Busted. Ooh, Daryl, you such a fucking liar. You're the most liar of all the liars. Daryl, she just busted you out. Like, you just gonna let this happen? You just gonna let her sit there and tell on you like this? It ain't right. It ain't right.
Can I ask a question, Your Honor?
Of me or of the witness?
Jail administration.
Go ahead, you can ask a question.
Ms. Wallenhoff, if there were different
Make sure you
types
hit the
of
like
tests
button for
available,
mama, please.
why wasn't I administered the correct test when I first was tested? Why would essentially I would be asked to take a test, take that test, then turn around again and be told to take a whole nother test? In my mind, that's almost like some type of ploy or something, some type of scheme.
Was it a scheme,
Why-
Daryl?
Sir, what's the question?
I asked the question, why would I not be given the correct test from the get-go instead of having to take two tests? If I've already taken one
Brooks,
test,
you have to give her an opportunity to answer, and you
I've
gotta
already-
ask one question at a time.
I just asked the question.
Can she answer it then? Do you want her to answer it? I presume you do, since you asked the question, so you need to stop talking so that she can answer it, okay?
Right.
Limit your abuse, Your Honor.
I'm sorry?
I don't appreciate being talked to that way, Your Honor.
Your objection is noted. Go ahead and answer.
Judge, I would prefer not to answer that question. He states the wrong test. I don't know what he's speaking of. I have not reviewed the medical record with what test was administered, so I would prefer not to answer that question.
All right, fair enough.
I did not say the wrong test. I said two tests. If it was, why would I need
You
to
said
take
the
two
right
tests?
test. You said, why didn't they give me the right
the
test?
same
You fucking
sentence.
liar.
Your Honor, I object to relevance and beyond the scope of this witness's knowledge, and it also assumes a fact not in evidence.
All right, so I'll sustain the objection. I'll give both parties an opportunity to ask questions of this witness since it's Mr. Brooks's request. I know do you have any other questions for Jail Administrator Wallenhopt on this issue at this time?
I don't think I was clear, or I didn't have clarity on the answer to that question. Essentially, what I'm asking is, why would I need to take two tests for the same thing? There should, if I'm taking a COVID test, why would I need to take another one?
Now I'm going to object as to lack of foundation and beyond the scope of this witness's knowledge, Your Honor.
The objection is sustained. I'll direct the witness. She does not need to answer that question. Next question, if you have one, please.
I still don't have clarity on that, Your Honor. I'm baffled.
Sound like a you problem, Daryl.
A different question?
Would it be any way to verify why I would need to take two tests for the same symptoms?
He know he asking the wrong
I'm not
fucking
sure I
question.
understand the question, sir. I think
I'm referring to the nurse who administered the test.
the nurse isn't here, though. This is Jail Administrator Wallenhopt.
And that's why it's hard for me to wrap my head around why
Oh, is that why?
Mrs. Wallenhoff would be called to testify when she was not present. I think the wrong person is testifying.
Do you have any other
Because
questions
the
for
reason
her?
why I
I
say
understand
that-
what you're saying. Do you have any other
Are
questions
you
for her,
sure
though?
Are you sure you're wrapping your head around what I'm saying, Your Honor?
Do you have any other questions for this witness?
To your knowledge, you just said that you have a rapid test available right now. When did that become available? Because I was told otherwise.
I know there is a rapid test available right now. As I stated before, it is my understanding that you were offered a rapid test and you refused.
So why was I not offered a rapid test from the get-go?
Objection, relevance.
If she knows, she may answer.
I do not know the answer to that. I have not reviewed the medical record, jail contracts with the medical provider.
Thank you. Next question, if you have one.
So there are more than one type of COVID test administered by this jail.
thing is
Again,
definitely
the
a little
jail
bit out of
contracts,
focus.
Judge, I prefer not to
I'm
answer
losing
that. The
my
jail
mind.
contracts with the medical provider. I do not direct testing for medical conditions. That would be our medical contract.
I believe the record's clear that a rapid test was offered. It was declined by Mr. Brooks. The record's also clear that he
I
did
object to that,
submit.
Your Honor.
He did submit to a test, but this witness is not able to answer whether that was a rapid or not, given her role in the Waukesha County Jail as the administrator and not in charge of medical. I will find she does not need to answer that question because it's outside her scope. And to further answer it might be speculative. So, do you have
Oh, my
question?
baby.
So would it be fair to say, you just said it would be speculative, so would it be fair to say that it'd be speculative that the second test would be a rapid test?
I will make a determination on your motion after all of the evidence and testimony on this issue is received.
Is that an
I
answer,
can't
Your Honor?
answer that question at this
Well,
time,
I'm
sir.
asking it of Ms. Wallenhoff. Is it because we just said it would be speculative?
Well, you
So-
were looking at me when you said that,
Well,
so are you, and I'm not gonna answer that question. I'm not a witness in this.
The
I
reason
make
why
the
I was-
determination
The reason why I was
ultimately.
looking at Your Honor is because
Do you have another question
I'm
for
still trying to
Jail
figure out
Administrator
how-
Wallenhaupt?
I thought testimony was supposed to be the prosecution and the defense's time to
Sir,
ask
do you
questions.
have another question? Otherwise, I'm gonna ask the state if they have any more for this witness.
I asked the question, would it be fair to say that it's speculative about what the second test actually was?
Mr. Brooks, I don't understand your question.
Yeah, me neither. You are not alone.
to
I am
understand
here
about
with
it.
you.
If you were offered a test,
Objection, relevance.
Yeah.
it's a question.
Relevance.
Hold on.
I'm
You're
getting some-
asking a
I'm
hypo-
going somewhere.
I'll let you get the question out, but I would just note you're asking her a hypothetical that, given her role, she might not be qualified to answer. But you can go ahead and ask it.
Well, it's not hypothetical. It's very logical. If you were offered a test and you took it, why would you need to essentially take another test that could have been done right from the beginning? If there would be any issues, if there would be
All right, Mr. Brooks, it's not relevant what she would do. So that's essentially an argumentative
Okay, so
question,
why-
and
so
it's
why would
not
I do it?
relevant. So
Why would
sit
I do it
down. You're done asking questions because you've
so
now
is that a
asked.
judicial determination?
I haven't made a judicial determination yet.
You're
Go ahead,
practicing
Attorney
law from the
Hopper.
bench by being able to ask
Mr.
her
Brooks,
questions of yourself.
Mr. Brooks, okay, here's your warning. I'm giving Attorney Opper an opportunity
So
to
you're
ask this
practicing law from
witness
the bench.
questions, and if you interrupt her, you will be removed to the next courtroom.
I don't consent to being removed to the next courtroom. I don't consent